Hi guys, welcome back to my reaction channel. So today we're going to be reacting to basically the failure of Kai Cenat's rebrand. Unfortunately, it didn't go that well, so Internet Anarchist came out with a video, so we're finna watch it. Let's get into it. I'm actually excited for this video,
Kai Cenat is currently facing a firestorm of negative backlash after announcing he would be taking a hiatus from streaming to become a clothing designer.
I'm just getting to making my own clothing brand. Okay. And I really want to learn.
After uploading videos of himself struggling to read, filming a 2-4.
Now be honest, do you guys think this was real or performative? Because me personally, at first I thought it was real and I was like, okay, like I'm proud of him. Until I seen the video with the grapes and he was like holding the grapes up and like eating it from the side. Then the timer went off and he like picked up the timer and showed the camera and kept going. I think that's when I was like, that's a little performative.
40p video despite being a multi-millionaire and showing off his dream journal to outside press. People online seem to have enough of Kai, calling him performative and corny. Even Soulja Boy commented on the situation, saying, "The jig is up. WTF happened to Kai Cenat?" The last time I talked about Kai Cenat, I said that, "That's the thing about slow, steady reputational damage like the kind Kai is facing. It doesn't take a career overnight. Instead, it gradually makes people stop caring about the person they once supported." And that's exactly what happened. But instead of slowly declining into irrelevancy, it seems that the months of growing resentment have finally climaxed into the negative reaction we are seeing. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries.
Internet
we'll
Anarchist.
be diving into why and how the public opinion on Kai Cenat has taken a turn for the worse. Last time I talked about Kai Cenat, the internet was torn between remembering him as streaming's most genuine success story and seeing him as one of the fakest personalities on the platform.
Wait, do y'all think we're gonna get another Kai if he completely stops streaming? We need another person that's keeping up the energy. I mean, we have Speed, but Speed is pretty much IRL at this point. Like, he doesn't really do anything aside from IRL and athletic stuff. I wonder if we're gonna get another Kai though, like somebody similar to him this year. I feel like this is the year of the newcomers. Like, I hope we get a lot of new streamers this year.
Kai was celebrated as the kid who beat the odds, coming from financial struggle, grinding YouTube since his early teens, and eventually exploding on Twitch through AMP and his record-breaking Mafiathon streams. Fans loved his energy, generosity, and the sense that he was still just a regular guy enjoying life with his community.
I was gonna say, why didn't he have Obama on the stream? But then I'm looking hard and that's definitely not him.
But over the last year, that image has steadily cracked, not because of one catastrophic scandal, but through a long chain of smaller missteps. Viewers point to his half-kept promise to rebuild a school in Nigeria, his silence during major charity events like Team Water, and his sudden distancing from Aiden Ross after years of benefiting from his platform. The disrespect shown towards streamer Jinxie during a planned tournament, along with accusations of bot-inflated viewership within his circle, only strengthens the narrative that Kai now moves purely for optics. Many longtime fans feel his reactions are rehearsed, his content overly corporate, and his personality molded to fit celebrity.
Okay, now I have to be honest. I have noticed that a lot of his streams did kind of become more production as far as not very authentic. When I was watching the first Drewski and Kevin Hart stream with him, I noticed so many times, like for example, there was a part where they were all dancing and Drewski had a cup of water in his hand. He tapped Kai and whispered, "Watch this," and then went like this and shook the water and it got on everyone and he was like, "Oh," like acting oblivious. And then also I noticed too with the energy drinks, he was only taking sips of each energy drink. He wasn't actually drinking them, which also let me know, okay, that whole energy drink part was a skit. It wasn't real. The porta potty, the fireworks in the porta potty, all that was skits. It's not real. It's not authentic. And I feel like before his streams were authentic. Things were planned, but they weren't planned to look real. You know, it wasn't a skit. Now it's actual skits. And I feel like it was the moment he started working with Kevin, Drewski, all of them. That's when it kind of became a production and not necessarily raw and just Kai, you know?
Culture rather than the community that raised him. Despite this, months before Kai's attempted rebrand, his career appeared to be at an all-time high. He had just shattered records by reaching 1 million Twitch subscribers during his grueling Mafiathon 3 stream. For those of you that don't know, Mafiathon was a massive 30-day subathon stream on Twitch, designed to maximize audience interaction, break streaming records, and generate massive revenue.
And I couldn't even get into the third one.
3, the event featured 24/7
Like, it didn't hit.
non-stop content, including celebrity guests, gaming, and elaborate skits, with viewer subscriptions extending the timer. On August 26th of last year, Kai would announce the final Marthathon, promising that it would be the best one yet, and for many viewers, it was. Massive celebrities like Kevin Hart, Kim Kardashian, and LeBron James would join Kai and his people on stream, as they entertained a live audience of hundreds of thousands of people. LeBron even cut Kai's dread that he had grown out for 10 years.
Wait, what's the last one?
The last one. Hold on.
Last one.
Last one.
Y'all think his mom knew something and maybe that's why she didn't want him to cut the dreads? Or do you think she just genuinely felt like there was life in them? Because everyone can agree, once those dreads were gone, it didn't seem like him anymore. And I feel like a lot of people have cut their dreads and they didn't seem that different, but he seems different.
All right, go.
Last one.
Last one, guys. Last one.
However, things weren't always perfect, and there were a few times when things went too far. In one instance, a live bird was being shown off to the camera, and for some reason, Drewski decided to throw a chair in the same direction the bird was. Now it's funny harassing animals on stream. Genuinely, who watches this garbage? Issues are-
I feel like picking up this chair and throwing it instead of thinking, what can I do to get laughs? I feel like it's more authentic when you're just doing things off of because you want to do them instead of because I'm trying to get a clip, you know?
obviously only natural
and I feel like
when it comes to a 24/7
Drewski moves to get a
stream.
clip for sure.
Not only are you streaming yourself literally 24/7, even while sleeping, for the hours that you
but
are
I mean,
awake,
clips is
you
what's
have to
in,
be
so I get it.
entertaining all the time. Sometimes you even have to be entertaining while you sleep.
Get there. Stop. Bro, come on, I'm gonna go. Oh my fucking God. Man, bro, you...
However, the reaction from audiences these clips gave off was less of a response to what was happening on stream and closer to a building exhaustion of seeing Kai changing personality as he achieved more success. To some audience members, it felt like Kai wasn't the same person that they started watching back when he was just a normal
I would say that
Twitch
his
streamer.
energy definitely dropped a bit. Like I feel like his energy was a lot more vibrant. However, he's getting older. I don't know, because a lot of the streamers that we have now are mid-20s, mid to late 20s, and still have so much energy. So, and he's I think mid-20s. So
in his bedroom. Now,
I don't
he was
know,
with
just
massive
something's
media
off about
giants
him.
like Mariah Carey and Ed Sheeran. Cracks were starting to form in the foundation, even if many watching didn't
mind
see
you,
it
he was
yet.
my favorite
Following
streamer.
the conclusion of Marthathon 3, Kai announced that he would be taking a break from streaming now that the marathon was over. Fans had already expected
Okay, let me rephrase that. He wasn't my favorite streamer. I would say Queso and Agent are my favorite streamers right now. I've been trying to get into Yana, but I feel like I like Yana's YouTube videos and stuff more than her streams.
this, as he had done something similar for his past two Marthathon
Who are y'all watching?
streams,
What
and
streamers are
streaming
y'all
for
watching?
30
I like
days straight
Joey
has to be
Bartolozzi too.
extremely
I like his
mentally
streams.
exhausting. Despite this, fans did expect Kai to eventually come back to streaming a few weeks after Marthathon had concluded. Previously, after Marthathon 2, Kai had taken a 15-day break and returned shortly after. However, this time would be very different, as days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Fans slowly started wondering when exactly Kai would return for his regular streams. It's not like he was inactive on social media, but for some strange reason, he didn't say anything about when streaming would begin. Only epic tweets about being inspired by Naruto. I used to think anime was weird and think it was just a cartoon, but it has helped me build way more courage than I ever had before, and I'm only on the second season. Naruto is a prime example of someone who truly believes in chasing your dreams, following your heart, and never giving up. After 4 months, Kai would
That's
finally
actually
break
true.
his silence on streaming, releasing a video
I think I watched,
titled,
the first
"I Quit."
season.
This clearly clickbait title would at first elicit a negative first reaction from fans, because surely there was no way he was actually quitting, right? As it turns out, it was half clickbait. In the video, Kai goes into detail about how he has had the time of his life streaming, but he wants to take a break and move on to greener pastures. More specifically, becoming a clothing designer and making his own brand called Vivette. According to Kai, this brand is meant to be more more than just streamer merch. It's his creative pivot into fashion, and a way to express a passion outside of content creation. He says he developed it with a focus on craftsmanship and personal meaning, spending time in Italy learning
I like
about
that jacket
production and
the
design,
guy next to him has.
and quote,
the colorful
choosing
one?
a name that reflects his idea of living beyond one's identity rather than being boxed in by his fame.
It's more like what clothes did for me, and like I've been to Italy for the past 3 months. Like this is my first time I have a passion, a true passion for something besides content creation.
I do believe that he does have a passion for fashion. It's just weird that it just randomly, I don't know. That's why, I guess that's why I can't tell if it was performative or if it was real. I don't know. I'm kind of like in between on how I feel about that.
To become a fashion designer and start my own clothing brand.
Not only that, but at the end of the video, Kai revealed that he'd been secretly uploading to another channel, more focused on the self-improvement type of content. Videos on this channel were things like working out, motivation, and him recording himself reading in order to be able to speak better.
I don't like the way I tend to articulate myself when I talk or try to get a point across, so I think reading is going to help me.
At first, some people were not convinced that this was the real reason he was moving on, and that there was another one. A few weeks earlier,
Probably his
Kai had
girlfriend,
announced
or
that he had
ex.
broken up with his long-term girlfriend, Gigi.
I like her content. She's the only one that I truly like watching for some reason. I don't know why.
Tweeting, "I'm
And I've been
single.
watching her
I will
for a
never
while,
be in
too."
Another relationship again. This tweet led fans to speculate as to what might have happened to cause this breakup, and many began wondering if he or Gigi had cheated on each other. The same day that Kai made his tweet, Gigi made a post on Instagram stating, "I left. Now you want to get on the internet and rush to paint a false narrative about me off a fake Twitter post is insane. I've never cheated on him, and you know that. I have never dealt with that man. Play that sympathetic role somewhere else, please." This resulted in its own media frenzy as speculation went wild as to how this relationship could have possibly ended in the way that it
TikTok
did.
was going crazy, boy.
That's how I'm feeling right now too. So say the wrong thing, I'ma say the wrong shit. Say the wrong shit, and I'm a motherfucker. No cap. I'm a dead ass. You won't. See, look.
This is story time about how Duke Dennis took my bitch, bro. This girl we were talking
I've never seen that clip before.
Whatever, we had some plans.
Fuck, I think I broke my shit though.
When it comes to Kai's rebrand, the response to this pivot was mixed to say the least. There was definitely support to be seen from fans, excited that he was moving on with his life in a way that he wanted to. But there was also a negative reaction from the general public that was impossible to ignore.
I would say
People began
general
making fun
public
of
definitely
Kai
thought
for
he
his
was
videos
performative.
where he was reading and sometimes had to look up how to pronounce a word and its meaning.
Spontaneity. How do I pronounce that?
Spontaneity? Is that the word he's trying to get?
Carl listened to it and still pronounced it wrong. However, many began defending him as well. "This is literally how you teach yourself things, lol. There is nothing to mock here. The world would generally be a better place if more people..."
I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly what he just did is exactly what I do. If I see a word I don't know, I just look it up. If I have a question in my head, I'm like, oh, I wonder what this means. I look it up. That's how you gain knowledge. You research. Research is power.
Humbled
So
themselves
him
like
learning that
this.
and learning
If
a new
I
word
don't
isn't
know
a problem.
word, I look it up too. Why is that
Yeah,
funny?
same.
This is exactly what kids need to see. This is great influence actually. The biggest contributing factor to the negative reaction was most certainly from viewers calling his second channel performative, meaning what he was doing was mainly to be seen and perceived in a certain way, not purely for genuine growth. Because Kai films himself journaling, reading to improve vocabulary, and doing reflective activities, critics compared it to someone staging aesthetic habits at a cafe just for the image. People are skeptical because Kai is already extremely wealthy and successful, and
That's
everything
true.
he does is content by nature. So the transformation feels like a marketing narrative designed
There's no other reason than just greed for him to hit 1 million subscribers and get that much money. That third Mafia-thon, just something about it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like he was supposed to do that. It felt greedy. It felt just so greedy. And then on top of that, think about how many celebrities used that Mafia-thon 3 to sell products, to push albums. Like it was literally just a big old, like, it should have just been a billboard which just had everybody just sponsored. It was just a big sponsorship. That's what it felt
promote
like.
Yvette rather than an organic life change. As an example example, at the end of some of his reading videos, Kai would show off to the camera that the timer he set for himself was done, but he continued reading.
That's when I felt it was
anyway.
performative.
You can use
And the grapes, of course.
You can use pair a new habit with a specific time and location. The implementation intention formula is I will behavior and time and location. Habit stacking is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit with a current habit. The habit stacking formula is after current habit,
Now, I can definitely tell that he's not reading to comprehend, he's reading just to read. Because you don't read like that if you're truly comprehending the words.
New habit, and that is time. Company 123, December 24th. Stating again, I am reading to articulate myself better for the future. See y'all next time. I'm left off at page 79.
To add on to this, some of Kai's videos were filmed in 240p, despite the fact that he clearly has the money and equipment for better quality. Many people interpreted this as his attempt to seem genuine and down to earth, when in reality, it had the opposite effect.
No, I think at that point he was doing that so that when we look back at these videos, it gives off that it was old. I think that's why he made it in lower quality. That way, when we look back and we say, oh, look at, for example, if they ever make a huge documentary on him, they could pull those videos back and it seems like it came out like early 2000s, mid 2000s, or 2010s or whatever, but it literally came out in 2025. I think that's the vibe he's trying to go with.
It really pisses me off how performative this talk is. The most performative MF on YouTube right now. Dude is rich AF, but uses a 240p camera quality. Lol. Proof that money doesn't unlame you. The examples are almost endless, but a few of the other major critiques people had are Kai recording himself using a sewing machine to assumably make the clothes he would be selling, even though it's very likely the case that these clothes would be made in a factory and not by hand.
The way he's doing it, he's making it seem like every day he's finna be in there doing that. No, he's doing this for the video, and then after that, a team's gonna start making the clothes. Like, he's not gonna be in there making the clothes like that. So I can see why that is also performative as well.
Kai listening to a Frank Ocean album. Critics disliked how, again, this came off as Kai trying to seem relatable to fans of Frank Ocean.
Bro, this alien. Oh my gosh. This alien, bro. How do you flow switch like this?
The list of clips that people had problems with was too many to count, and by the time a few days had passed, it became mainstream to make fun of this new rebrand. But whether Kai's rebrand is real or not, if he's serious about launching a fashion brand, he's going to need to figure out inventory management. And honestly, most businesses get this wrong. That's where today's sponsor comes in. Big thanks to Odoo for sponsoring this video. Odoo is an all-in-one platform that covers everything from invoicing and accounting to inventory, project management, and honestly, most businesses get this wrong. That's where today's sponsor comes in. Big thanks to Odoo. However
we don't care, unfortunately.
You can see the just picking life instead.
We do not care.
Some would go to TikTok to defend Kai for trying to make a reading habit, saying that this is the type of example that needs to be set for younger audiences.
Kai Cenat is not performative. I don't think you guys know what the fuck that word even means. He's doing every single thing he's intending to do. He's reading, working out, sewing, whatever. I don't care. But he's doing the actual thing. What's performative is you acting like you know how to read. Statistically speaking, most of you do not know how to read.
However, others would respond to this defense, arguing that they thought it was funny regardless.
There's no way y'all about to hop on this app and try to make people feel bad because we making fun of Kai Cenat because he can't read. The nigga is 24 years old and he don't know how to fucking read. He was admitted to a university.
That's true.
He went to college and dropped out. And the nigga don't know how to fucking read, dog. That's hilarious.
But I don't blame him. I blame the school system. I blame the school system 100,000%. I do not blame him at all.
Y'all are not about to make niggas feel bad for this shit. He's the one who set up the camera.
Whenever something like this happens, it's almost an inevitability that once other creators smell blood in the water, a feeding frenzy will begin. In this case, creators like Bruce Dropomoff threw shots at Kai, calling him performative.
Bro, just show the sweatshop, because you're not going to be in the lab all day, gang. You're just not. Show the sweatshop, bro.
Facts.
You're not doing this shit yourself, bro. The fuck? It's performative ass shit.
Process of just sitting there.
You know how hard sewing is, gang?
Even his ex-girlfriend Gigi joined in, making
Gigi?
an Instagram post alleging that Kai had cheated on her, but she had stayed
Is that
anyway
even her?
because he had already caught her talking to some of his
Am I tweaking or is that not her? That don't look like her at all.
friends behind his back first. Y'all know how it be when you get in a situation and your boyfriend don't want you communicating with your guy friends you had around before him. I respect it. I've admitted since day one I crossed that boundary by answering for him, and I also took accountability and immediately apologized. I'm not afraid to speak my wrongs, but the conversation was never disrespectful. It's also no excuse, but Miss Thickneck, since we are going there, why are you not just telling the full story? Tell him how he got caught having a bee in his crib at 5 AM, and my R just accepted to call it even. I'm the one really hurt, and this triangle back MF was in his messages like, "We gonna get through this. It hurts me when you're hurt. You deserve to be with somebody that loves you. I'm assuming that somebody is you, huh?" Even Soulja Boy had to comment on the situation. The jig is up. WTF happened to Kai Cenat? By now, it seemed like this reaction was not only from Kai's rebrand, but a negativity that had been festering for a while. People saying Kai Cenat is performative isn't some brand new idea. That conversation has been around for months, even years before he decided to rebrand. For a long time, there have been rumors that Kai doesn't actually pick his own music taste, that he might have a stylist or someone behind the scene.
Now that I've never heard and I never even considered. Music stylist? What is a music stylist? Someone just feeds you music and then you decide what music you like? That's
telling him what songs are
I think it's more so probably it's like his friends and stuff, and then he's like working with people like, oh, I'll play your song, you know, for whatever.
Trendy or culturally relevant. Those rumors really started because of different clips from his streams and concerts where he's vibing to a song but clearly doesn't know the lyrics, or he reacts in a way that feels more like a show than a genuine moment, like randomly taking his shirt off instead of actually engaging with the music. It's not just music. The same thing has followed him with anime too.
That's
One of
funny.
the biggest examples people bring up is when Kai was talking about One Piece on stream and another guy called him out for not really knowing anything about it. When he got pressed, Kai kind of stumbled and couldn't back up what he was saying, which made a lot of viewers feel like he was just pretending to be into anime to seem more relatable to his audience.
Myself, I watched Death Note. I watched One Piece. I watched a little bit of 100.
You watch One Piece?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
It's too long though, bro.
Nigga, what last episode you was on?
Like 100 and.
Apple.
I'm being honest.
What's the last thing you remember?
It's been a minute,
bro.
Cause that's it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Cap.
Okay, name 3 characters.
Lofi.
Lofi. Holy shit. Are you fucking kidding? Yo, bro.
That perception of Kai being fake doesn't stop at his interests either. A lot of fans believe his actual streams are more scripted than he lets on, even though they're presented like
That's
real
what I believe,
spontaneous
100%.
moments. There are tons of examples.
That's what it is. It's like a skit, but the way that they present it, it comes off as it's not, and it's really happening. That I hate. I love reality. Like, I love reality TV. That's why I think I like streaming and YouTube and stuff, because it's real. So once it becomes like not real and it's like a skit, it doesn't feel authentic anymore.
People point to, like the stream with Kevin Hart, where Kevin supposedly got mad about his friend Rakai talking to his daughter, or when he got woken up by getting water dumped on his face. Some viewers felt the whole situation was set up for content rather than something that naturally happened. So when Kai announced this big shift with his new brand and image, a lot of people didn't see it as growth, they saw it as another performance. If he was putting on an act before, why would this be any different? And that's the real problem. Whether it's fair or not, the history of him chasing what's popular has made it hard for people to believe this new version of Kai is completely genuine. This whole idea of Kai being performative also shows up in the way he even announced announced this rebrand in the first place. Instead of just being direct and saying, hey, I'm launching a clothing brand, he went with the huge clickbait title like I quit, and sure, from a pure YouTube strategy point of view, that's probably the best way to get the most eyeballs on the video. But the problem is, Kai isn't just chasing views with this, he's trying to introduce a new version of himself, this more mature, down-to-earth, authentic persona, and starting that off by tricking people into thinking he's quitting everything kind of works against the message he's trying to send. Then you actually watch the video, and the production makes it even harder to believe it's genuine. There's dramatic music playing in the background while he's talking about his dreams and his vision, and it doesn't feel like a real conversation. It feels more like a scene from a documentary that a marketing team carefully planned out. Instead of coming across like Kai opening up to his audience, it ends up feeling like some Hollywood executive's idea of how to pull on people's heartstrings. And
I feel like it would have felt more authentic if he made it more vlog style. Like if he just picked up his phone and was like, all right, y'all, I'm finna go to so-and-so and do this. I feel like that would have been way more authentic than a whole production. Because how do you have a whole production for that, but then you're recording in 240p on YouTube? How do you have a production on this side, but low quality on your YouTube channel? Like, that makes no sense.
Make them emotional without any real emotion actually being there. And what makes that worse is the contrast with the content on his second channel. Over there, he's reading books, lifting weights, talking about motivation, recording himself in 240p, trying to seem like a super ragtag guy that's down to earth and gets it. So seeing that right next to this Hollywood dramatic cinematic rebrand video that probably cost hundreds of thousands of dollars makes it feel like he's trying way too hard to play two different characters at once instead of just being one real person. If Kai wanted this transition to feel believable, he could have looked at creators who actually managed to move outside of internet content in a natural way. A perfect example is Joji. He used to be Filthy Frank, which was about as opposite from his music career as you can get. But he didn't make some huge dramatic announcement about, quote, changing his life. He just quietly stepped back, focused on the music, and to let the new identity speak for itself.
Another example, he might say it too, but Blackboy Max, he's streaming, but we all know that his real passion is music. So he implemented music into his streaming. That way, if he ever were to step away from streaming, we're just gonna follow him into the music because that's where we know him from as well. If Kai started on his streams with fashion and really took his streams more on the fashion side, then he would build a fashion community and then they would follow him into that. That would have felt more authentic as well.
Over time, people accepted it because it didn't feel forced. Now, obviously, Kai didn't need to disappear and create a whole new name just to drop a clothing brand, but the way he introduced it could have been so much better. He could have just been honest, talked to his audience like normal, and let the brand grow naturally. Instead, the big clickbait rollout and overproduced video made it feel less like a real evolution and more like another piece of content designed to go viral. And when people already questioned whether he's genuine, that approach just ends up feeding into the exact criticism he's trying to escape. The whole reason Kai Cenat's reading, lifestyle improvement, and fashion journey is getting so much hate is because it comes off as performative. Even if he's being completely genuine, even this video being lower quality compared to his usual crisp 4K 60 FPS content adds to that perception. I mean, good for him for trying to improve himself and all that, but the way he's documenting every step of it for everyone to see just feels performative for a lot of people. Yes, it's a positive that is using his platform to promote lifestyle improvements, but if he had disappeared for 1 to 2 years and then come back with a full timeline/time-lapse video of everything he's been working on, including his fashion brand, it would have been received way better. People would have been cheering, aside from the ones who are always going to hate. Despite a mix of negative backlash, Kai is still full steam ahead when it comes to his rebrand, appearing at Paris Fashion Week and showing off his journal of sketches. This was once again called performative by many commenters, which isn't surprising. He's still somehow in the top 10 most current subscribers on Twitch, even though he hasn't streamed in over 4 months. Although he is—
Okay, I have to admit something. I have been subscribed to Kai for like 4 years. He was actually the reason I even knew what Twitch was. I think I found him on YouTube, followed his Twitch, subscribed to his Twitch, and he still is currently the only person I'm subscribed to aside from Queso and Agent. Like, my longest Twitch streak is with him. And I think that's why I don't want to take it off. Even though he doesn't stream, I'm like, hey, like, that's a long time to be subscribed to someone. But I think it's time to let it go.
Seemingly
definitely
fine
time.
and unaffected by the negative press on the surface, it is notable that as of writing this, Kai has not posted in almost a month on his second self-improvement channel, perhaps due to how negatively that specific aspect of his brand was perceived. When it comes to Kai's future and whether this whole rebrand actually works, it really comes down to one simple question: does he mean it or not? If he's genuinely trying to grow and become something different, then over time, people will notice that. Even if he's lost some fans in the short term, real effort usually wins people back, and he could end up becoming the kind of creator he wants to be, someone with more layers.
Unless he's cloned. Dun dun dun. I'm just
More
kidding.
than just loud moments on
'Cause
screen.
everybody
Kind of like
swears
how
he's
someone
cloned,
like
and
Mr. Beast built an
I don't know,
entire
he could be
empire
for real.
beyond just YouTube videos.
Like, I'm
And his
not-
clothing
I'm not
brand
confirming
could
or
still
denying,
blow
I don't
up
know.
Either way, Kai has insane reach, and in fashion, a lot of success comes down to marketing, timing, and whether the designs actually connect with people. Being genuine helps, but at the end of the day, if the clothes are good and the brand catches a wave, it could take off regardless. He might actually have a real eye for that side of things. We just don't know yet. But the other side of this is just as possible. If this whole transformation turns out to be nothing more than dressed up viral marketing, then he risks losing something way more valuable than views. He risks
Community.
losing trust. The fans that have been
Oh.
with him since the beginning
Well, yeah,
could finally reach
community.
a point where they feel like the Kai they supported never really existed, or at least doesn't exist anymore. And that kind of damage is hard to fix. Once people decide you're not authentic, it sticks, and it could become a permanent stain on a reputation that's already been questioned for years. So really, this moment is kind of a turning point for him. He could come out of this more respected and more established than ever, or he could end up proving all the critics
Mr.
right.
Beast,
There's
move!
no way to know yet. The only thing that's
Video's
going
not
to
over
answer
yet.
that is time, and whether Kai's actions from here on actually match the version of himself he's trying to sell.
W video. That was a good video.
It comes so true.